Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn inclusive lesson plan. This is a part of the practicum of paper 10 B.Ed 1.4.10. Okay, inclusive education. And uh, now if you surf the net, you will find that CBSE has published this book called the Handbook of Inclusive Education, which also includes some lesson plan formats. Okay, you can follow them as well. But I have taken my format from uh, this practicum book published by the Rehabilitation Council of India. This is for the advanced certificate course in inclusive education cross disability. So, this block 5, this book has your inclusive uh, learning design pattern. It also has the learning design pattern or lesson plan pattern for this for UDL, that is Universal Design for Learning. But that's a little bit more complicated, so I preferred to use. I mean, we are supposed to use the inclusive lesson plan. This is the UDL based lesson plan, which is also there in that book. But we are going to take up this inclusive lesson plan. This is the format of the inclusive lesson plan, and I'm going to explain that format with examples today. Okay. All right. So if you see, this is the overall, more or less, the overall structure of the lesson plan that you have to prepare. And I'll give you some examples also through which you can understand how you can implement it in your own subject area. So here first you have to write down the lesson plan number and the name of the trainee teacher, the school, class section, subject, topic, unit that you're teaching, the time that you're allotted per period. On the right hand side, you have to write down the date, your enrollment number, and the number of students, total number of students in the class. Now, here you have to mention the category of the student with special needs. For a convenience purpose, it's better if you stick to only one kind of disability in each lesson plan, because multiple disabilities will require you to make variations of different kinds in your teaching learning strategies and teaching learning materials used. So it's better that for your practice purpose, mention any one type of disability. Okay, either visual impairment or hearing impairment or maybe autism. These things, mild autism, these things you can normally mention. Okay, very severe cases are not, I mean, they cannot be included too much into the classroom situation, regular classroom situation. So it's better stick to cases of mild hearing impairment or visual impairment or autism or mild retardation. Okay, so that you have to mention the number of students that are there. So you may have one or you may have two. So here you have to write the general objectives. Then here you have to write the modification of the, you know how to set the objectives. So you write in the conventional pattern. Then the modification of the general objectives for what objectives you have to set for the special need child in the class. Then you have the specific instructional objectives to be written, and then the modification part for the special needs child. I'll explain to you the details in with the help of examples. So just see the format first. Then the current level of the students with special needs. What is the current level of the students? Then previous knowledge. You know how to write the previous knowledge, previous language, specific knowledge, specific language, method of teaching, technique of teaching, and the aids and appliances that you're using for the special needs child. Use of scribe. Scribe means if somebody else is going to write or to, I mean, write for the on behalf of the special needs child. If it's there, then write yes. If it's not required, then you write not required. And then you have to write about the mode of communication. Okay. Now we come to the sample format. For example, this is a sample format for history. Okay, so this is a conventional details about the trainee teacher and the class and the grade the person is teaching. And suppose this person is teaching on auditory impairment. Okay, So number of students, 1. So these are the general objectives. The modification used for the auditorily impaired child will be this. Then specific instructional objectives uh, for the chapter that you're teaching and the modifications that are required for the special needs child. Then the current level of the students, that is what they can read, whether they can communicate or write or rely on visual content or whatever. Previous knowledge, previous language that they know. Specific knowledge, that is what kind of specific languages or knowledge that is required for the particular chapter. Okay. And specific language, that is the technical words and the language that is used for the particular chapter. And then the method of teaching that you are using, that is multimodal or and visual oriented, because this is an auditorily impaired child, so you will be having a multimodal lesson, and visual oriented more, it will be more visual oriented. So the technique of teaching will have demonstration, map work, graphic organizer, picture based explanation, more of the visualization part. Then the aids and appliances that will be used specifically for the special child. Use of scribe here not required. It will be required if it may be required for a child with visual impairment. We'll do one sample for visual impairment as well. Then the mode of communication. What are the different modes of communication to be given in the class? Okay. Now you have the delivery of the content. Okay. So we'll come to the format again. This is the delivery of the content. This is the introduction part. Here you have 3 columns: teacher's activity, student's activity, whiteboard or TLM, whatever being used, statement of the trainee teacher, and then the presentation. Here again, you have the teacher's activities for teaching points, teacher's activity, student's activity, and the TLM that is being used. So first part will be the contextualization or introducing part. Okay. And this part is going to be the presentation part. All right. So then at the end of the presentation, there's going to be, write the various teaching points and the activities. Okay. Then you have and the relevant TLM and board work you have to give here. Then the recapitulation of the lesson, whatever you did. Then whatever modification needs to be made in recapitulation with regard to the special needs child. Okay. Then the evaluation, you have to give them an evaluation, a test or worksheet or whatever, and you have to give the evaluated version part for the special needs child, and then the home assignment and the modification required in the home assignment for the special child. So there will be the signature of the supervisor, and here there will be the signature of the and the name of the trainee teacher with the enrollment number. Now we come to the sample. See the delivery of the content. This is the introduction part. Okay, this is a statement of the trainee teacher. This is the presentation part, the teaching points and the various teachers' activities, students' activity, whiteboard thing, and all that. Okay, then you have the recapitulation part, modification part. Uh, then you have the evaluation and the modification and the evaluation part wherever required, the home assignment, and then the modification wherever required. So this is in case of history. Now let's take up another lesson on in mathematics. Here again you have the general objectives and the modification part. Here we have one child with visual impairment. Okay, so teaching mathematics to a visually impaired child is quite tough. So you see what so you have to use more of tactile and auditory tools for to convey the shapes. Here, the child is being taught the types of triangles, and the topic is the history topic was Indus Valley Civilization, and this is the maths topic is uh, types of triangles. So you see the modifications being made, then specific instructional objectives and the modifications being made, then the current level of the students, how much they understand, then the previous knowledge of the students, previous language, specific knowledge of the students, and the specific language that is being used. Specific language means what are the specific vocabulary that are being required, technical vocabulary required for teaching this particular lesson. Method of teaching, technique of teaching, aids and appliances being used. Here we are using braille level triangles, 3D shapes of triangular models, audio descriptions, okay, geometry toolkit, all these things. Use of scribe here, if needed, the scribe may be used for written assignment. Okay. So mode of communication, oral, tactile, audio based. Then the delivery of the content. As you see, this is the introduction part, and then you have again now the statement of the teacher. Then this is the presentation part, the recapitulation part, and the modification. This is the evaluation part and the modification. Okay, so you can take the evaluation of the visually impaired child through oral responses or model handling, or you might even take a scribe with whose help the child can write the assignment, or the child can even read and record the responses. So the home assignment given and the modification accordingly. Okay, so this is another lesson plan based on geography. And you see here, this is here again, you have a visually impaired child, one student with visual impairment in the class, and the same pattern being followed with respect to the topic that we are teaching. The topic we are teaching over here are types of mountains, various landforms, types of mountains, and accordingly we have chosen certain the same pattern and with respect to the subject being used. This is a chapter in English literature, and this the name of the chapter is the poem by C.G. Rossetti, The Rainbow. And here, the special needs child is a dyslexic child. So you have a problem with the child is having maybe some reading problems. So uh, the child has to be given multisensory learning, and as you see, um, for the specific phonetic cues need to be given, visual storytelling, all these things need to be done. So this is another example of a lesson plan which is for a dyslexic child. Now we move on to another lesson plan in English grammar. This is for an auditorily impaired child. Okay. Um English grammar. This is a lesson in education, the subject education. The topic is formal, informal, and non-formal education for a visually impaired child. Okay. So, and then you have uh, and there's one more lesson to be demonstrated. This is the science lesson. Um, the topic is basically the nutrition in animals, and here again we have a visually impaired child. Okay, so these are the different lessons being given for the of different classes as examples on how to prepare the lesson plan in various subject areas. So you can do that accordingly. Okay, so this is more or less the tentative the pattern of the basic pattern for writing. The format, the template is this. Okay, and then you have to modify it accordingly. Modify means you're going to use it accordingly. You stick to the same format, don't deviate from the format, because it's a standardized format. So do the write down the lesson plan based on this format, and improvise it based on the disability that you choose. Choose any one type of disability in the class for your own convenience's sake, and proceed with writing the lesson plan. Okay, I hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you so much.